dancing gracefully in midair, enchanting the dwelling, waiting for her arrival in the garden, soaring, soaring, her pleasant aroma fills the air. Xu was a poet, and he introduced Lin Huiyin to the great English poets. She developed a particular passion for Shelley, Byron and Keats. However, this wonderful episode in her life came to an abrupt end, with her father's sudden departure from London in 1921. The year before, when Lin Changmin and Lin Huiyin were getting ready to depart for London, Liang Qichao had just returned to China from Europe. It was an important turning point in Liang Qichao's life. He had decided to leave politics and devote himself to cultural pursuits and education. His Tsinghua classmate Liang Shiqiu recalled Liang Qichao as a man of deep learning and tremendous passion, who was widely admired. He remembered how on one occasion during a lecture he gave at Tsinghua on the expression of sentiments in Chinese verse, Liang Qichao had paused frequently to cover his face, laugh out loud or heave a deep sigh. He filled the blackboard as he lectured, and every time he moved on to a new topic, he told his son Sicheng, who was sitting in the front row, to wipe the board. In November 1921, after a year and a half in Europe, Lin Changmin and Huiyin returned to Beijing, where they settled in a hutong alley. Before long, Liang Sicheng was a frequent visitor to their house. "Dear Sicheng, I hope everything is well at your home. Huiyin is recovering from her illness. She asked me to write to you and give you all the details. She says I write beautifully, but I do not know if I am as eloquent as your father." The two fathers visited each other regularly, and this gave their children the opportunity to become close friends. In the spring of 1924, the great Indian poet Tagore visited China at the invitation of the Lecture and Learning Society, which had been founded by Liang Qichao and Lin Changmin. Throughout his visit, Tagore was accompanied by Xu Zhemo and Lin Huiyin, who served as interpreters. Xu Zhemo was still deeply in love with Lin Huiyin. In a letter to his mentor Liang Qichao, he wrote, "I will seek out my one and only soulmate in the vast sea of humanity. If I find her, I will be blessed. If not, I am lost. Please accept my naked heart, my goddess of love. There is no one else but you. Give it comfort and life. Otherwise, grind it into powder and throw it to the winds. But if you do, its sincerity will forever color the dreamland of your youth and later life. Have compassion for me, my goddess of love." That night I rowed my boat into the river of the clear blue sky to beg the help of the myriad stars. That night you pulled me by the hand, and the confusing starry night locked my heavy sadness. To all appearances, Xu Zhemo and Lin Huiyin were a perfect match, but their lives would take different paths. That night, when the two of us chose our separate paths, we both understood the true nature of life. Tagore was a careful observer of everything around him. He gave Lin Huiyin a poem. "The azure sky above loves the green earth below, and a gentle breeze blows between them." In 1924, at the suggestion of their fathers, Liang Sicheng and Lin Huiyin travelled together to the United States to study. Their fathers hoped that this would bring them closer so that they would develop feelings for each other and eventually marry. In the United States, Liang, Sicheng and Lin Huiyin both decided to study architecture. Liang Sicheng's brother Sicheng had studied archaeology at Harvard, and his sister Sicheng had studied library science at Columbia. Architecture, archaeology and library science were the newest academic disciplines of the era. Sicheng's decision to study architecture was influenced by Huiyin. She had developed an interest in architecture while in Europe, considering that it combined art and technology. However, her own dream of studying architecture would be frustrated. A year earlier, Huiyin's father had inquired if she could be admitted to the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts as a student of architecture. The dean of the academy had written back, "The Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts Architecture Department does not accept female students because architecture students frequently need to work late at night on their drawings, and this would be inappropriate for a woman without a chaperone. However, we do accept female students in other departments."